Hello, everyone. I am Christine Gritman with Social Media Pulse, and today we're going to do a wrap up, kind of run through of our 12 days of TikTok that we did over in the Social Media Pulse community for the first 12 business days, essentially, of December. During those 12 days, we've gone through a whole lot of topics relating to TikTok and short form video in general. So, we're going to go kind of do a bit of a rundown of what we've already done this month. And we're going to do it with a guest expert who knows a lot about video. My goodness, does she know a lot about video, including short form video. I'm going to bring her on right now, as a matter of fact, Ms. Stephanie Liu. Hello, Stephanie. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy Friday, friend. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And happy 12th day of TikTok, as it were.
Congratulations, team. That's so exciting. So exciting.
Yeah, these missions things have been kind of a new thing for the Social Media Pulse community. We are doing a mission focus every single month now. So it started with Camp Space Friend back in August, which was all about Instagram Reels. And then we did a mission LinkedIn in November, which was pretty incredible. December's a short month, ultimately, business-wise. Technically, it has 31 days. Business-wise, you're lucky if you get 12. So I think we're all
That's very true. That's very true.
Oh my goodness. And I'm putting the link in the comments right now just so people know wherever you are joining us on social, do join us at socialmediapulse.community for our live discussion here today with Stephanie. We do have this video playing in there, so join the discussion. All right. So Stephanie, first, just a little bit about you. If you could tell us a bit about your own journey in video, because you are a video marketing expert. That's why you're here. So talk to us a little bit about your whole video marketing shenanigans.
Of course. So I'm Stephanie Liu, and I'm the host of Lights Camera Live, where we help our clients go from unknown to unforgettable by leveraging live video. So as I am known for live streaming and live shopping for clients, I often work with them as far as repurposing their content into short form video content. And oftentimes we're creating videos for TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, even Amazon Inspire these days, which ding, ding, ding is a new thing. So we're definitely doing a lot with video, and I'm excited so much just to see people hop on TikTok and start getting on that short form video trend.
Absolutely. And it's funny because you're actually one of the first people I started following on TikTok. I do not do TikTok really myself, but it's interesting because you weren't just using it as marketing-y things. You were having fun on it. You were doing, dances and lip syncing and all of that. Your daughter was on with you sometimes. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and how you sort of started dipping your toe into TikTok and having fun with it and getting into it?
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where when a new social media platform goes out, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a content creator, or even just a small business, sometimes you feel weighed down by like, oh my gosh, it needs to be perfect. It needs to have this or that. And really, I wanted to approach it as let's just have fun. And I have a couple of nieces and nephews, who are in college and who are in high school. And I was like, just show me, show me how this works and let's have fun with it. And I also invited my daughter into it to join on me with trends and all these different things. And it just became more of a personality platform for me versus sell, business, as it would be on, something like LinkedIn. So for this one, it was really just entertain your audience, show them how you solve a problem. And it was just storytelling, really, for me. That's what I enjoyed most about it.
Absolutely. And that's been kind of a common theme in our 12 days of TikTok as well. People have talked about the importance of personality more than, as you said, sell. You and I are in similar situations right now in terms of we're both starting to have to think about TikTok strategy for a company, you for Agora Pulse, and me, of course, as part of the Social Media Pulse team. It's not all on me. There's a few of us, and you've got Erin helping you. But it's interesting to have to sort of look at how different it is to do TikTok strategy for a brand. But let's actually take a look through the 12 days of TikTok content, and we might find some stuff in there that can help both of us, actually.
Right.
So let me get the screen up there. Let me make sure it is the right one. Here we are. Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mission control. So in case people don't know, all of our Social Media Pulse missions will have a mission control post at the top as one of our pieces of featured content all month long. You can still go back and search the mission hashtag to find all of our past missions, including last month's mission linked in, and next month's mission, which I will tell you about at the end of today's show. All right, so mission control. We have here the first day of TikTok, we talked a lot about the 4 types of content you should make for 2023. So Rebecca Reynolds is a TikTok creator, and some of the stuff, let's see what the 4, just to run through it. And I encourage you all to go back and actually read these things. She said high value content that solves a problem and or is entertaining. You can't do neither of those things. You have to at least solve a problem or be entertaining. If you can do both, much better. Storytelling content. Stephanie, you literally just said storytelling. So there you go, you guys. Storytelling content. Yeah. Controversial content. That's a controversial entry there. But as Rebecca says, controversy drives engagement and engagement drives virality.
Virality. And then that's such a strong, powerful, bold statement to have there.
Yes.
Because I feel like most clients, especially from a brand perspective, don't take that into consideration. They always want to play things safe. TikTok is just a completely different destination in and all of itself. So to say that, controversy drives engagement and engagement drives virality, chef's kiss.
Exactly. And controversial stuff doesn't have to mean like, birds aren't real. They're the government spying on you. You don't have to get crazy with the controversy, and you don't have to go like insulting people. Controversy can be, pineapple on pizza, Brussels sprouts. You had something in one of your workshops, I know, that suddenly everyone was posting about. I think it was about how to make a peanut butter sandwich.
It was. It's what was your peanut butter strategy? And not to digress or anything, but it was very funny because I specifically said, what is your peanut butter sandwich strategy? Like, in my head, I was thinking, do you put peanut butter on one slice of bread first and then smush it together? And then everyone had a different way of doing it. Like, no, you got to like cut off the corners, or some people would throw in jelly. I'm like, but jelly's not a peanut butter sandwich. That's a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And so just to see, it was actually, you know what? Now you've inspired me. I need to, maybe people will do a remix off of it.
I think that's a great idea. I would remix that. I would show people how I make a peanut butter sandwich. And I too was like, just peanut butter and jelly. And actually my kids, one of them wants just a peanut butter sandwich and the other one wants jelly.
That's me. I'm just the peanut butter sandwich. And sometimes it's just one slice of bread and I just fold it in half.
Crunchy or smooth?
Smooth.
I'm a crunchy, but I'm a weirdo. I like crunchy peanut butter and seeded raspberry jam. That's my sandwich. But an interesting thing is then she has short form video content because they're obviously all short form. But one thing that she points out is that with short form, you really have to grab that attention at the beginning. And I know that you talk as a video expert, even with long form videos, even with like live streams, any sort of video, grabbing attention at the beginning is really key to getting them to watch the whole thing. Could you actually tell us a little bit more about how to do that, whether short form or long form?
Yeah, you need that hook. That strong, like it could be a question. It could just be like, jumping in front of the camera, but anything that just gets them out of scrolling because it'll separate you from the sea of sameness as far as that goes. But there are a lot of different things that you can do in that first 2 seconds. You could flip your camera, just like get creative with it, and oftentimes I think when you're creating TikTok content, see what other people are creating, do your own spin off of it, and then have fun with it. The one thing that I'll say to you, Christine, and I don't know if you've heard this before, but have you heard of the millennial pause?
I have, but tell us all what it is.
So there's this whole Gen Z thing where they make fun of millennials in the sense that like millennials will tend to like hold their breath until they confirm that it's actually recording the video. And they do a lot of content around it, poking fun at millennials. But I do see it, and I actually see it in a lot of my old content. So now I feel like as soon as I started TikTok, I have to be fast. Like I have to be fast, or as I'm editing, I have to like cut off the beginning of it. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. You want to get it because I know that I will click away from something if I come on and they're still like fumbling with their stuff and they're like, Who wants to watch that?
Or they're just like, hi.
Yeah. And it's a tricky balance, right? Because on the one hand, you don't know if people are, when you're doing like live. I know that that we both come from live video backgrounds, even though we've done all sorts of other stuff. I think that comes from the idea of your audience takes a second to get there, and some people do countdown videos and stuff. But if you're making a TikTok,
they're already there.
They're already there.
Yeah.
They're on the toilet. You only have so much time. You got to maximize that attention. They got literal shit to do.
You said it.
It's Friday, guys. All right. So another thing that people talked about during week one of the first day, well, not week one, day one, first day of TikTok, was about sharing favorite TikTok accounts. Stephanie, who are you loving on TikTok? Who are you following and looking at?
Oh my gosh. My favorite right now has to be Kenya Kelly, because she does a lot of, she mixes in like millennial trends with R&B and trending audios. She's definitely just like my vibe. Her jokes, her laughter, she talks about dating and all these different things. Those are the ones that really hit for me. The other ones that I find really, really fascinating, it's Duolingo. Have you seen the Duolingo account?
God, yes. Talk about being controversial.
Yes. Yes. That one I'm like, wow, you got away with that. Or Ryan Air cracks me up, because if you haven't seen it, I'm sure we'll put it in the comments for you, or in SMP. But it's like the picture of the plane being controversial, but creating your own trending audio sounds. And I'm just like, how do you get away with this? But if we could do that at Agorapulse, I would crack
up. So fun fact, at Social Media Week Europe, or maybe it was Brand Week Europe, I was there with Adweek, and I got to interview the head of social for Ryanair. And the thought, of course, in my brain, I can't, like many people, I don't find Ryanair a great consumer experience, shall we say? And the brand embraces that. The brand embraces that they're the bad boy of aviation. Their CEO and founder has made it clear he does not care. Like, he's joked about how he would charge for restroom access if he could. He'd charge for getting to sit down if he could. Because controversy, it gets you press. So I actually asked the head of social, I asked him a couple questions. But one of the things I asked him, I figured out how to phrase it nicely, but I was like, you've talked about how you don't mind if your brand pisses people off. But there is kind of a mental health crisis in the social media manager community right now. So how do you sort of shield, or at least prepare your social media managers for the fact that they're going to get a lot of that consumer heat on social?
Yeah.
And first of all, one of the things they do is they make it really clear that they have separate accounts for consumer support. And they talk about that a lot on their social. They post that link a lot. They make it really clear that's a different place. But he said, honestly, we make sure that they have balance. We don't make them work crazy hours. We let them know they're not on call all the time. Their time is their own. And we really encourage them to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryanair and Duolingo, definitely. Zaria Parvez from Duolingo just made a post on LinkedIn the other day talking about how she was a troublemaker from a young age. She's like, I'm just missing that part of my brain that says, don't do it. But look where it's gotten her. It's amazing. You have Duolingo giving birth to Scrub Daddy's babies very practically on TikTok. I mean, you can't buy that sort of press.
Sometimes when we're growing up, we think that our weaknesses are weaknesses, but really they become our superpowers. Let's just be honest. Yeah.
You're speaking my language. I love that. All right. Moving on to more of the 12 days of TikTok. So that was about type of content you should make, TikTok accounts we follow, and office hours. Donna Bowling and JD Rosman talked to Phyllis Kerr all about content. So definitely check out that as well. Office hours are always really popular. Then we talked about UGC. And the thing about UGC, and we have a few pieces that sort of get to this whole creator partnership thing. It's a big theme, not only in the 12 days of TikTok, but on TikTok in general. The idea of, instead of saying, we're going to create our own content necessarily. The idea of partnering with content creators,
Yeah.
and even there's kind of a line of how much do you tell them what to do, how much do you let them do their own thing. Letting them do their own thing is always much smarter. Now, Stephanie, you have been on all sides of this. You have worked as a content creator, and you have worked with content creators. So I'd love to hear kind of your feelings on, first of all, the best ways to work with creators on something like TikTok, but also stuff that maybe TikTok creators should know in order to maximize that. We have some pieces on that as well, but I'd love to hear your perspective.
I would say that as a brand, when working with a content creator, it's nice to have a campaign brief. And a campaign brief really outlines, well, what are you trying to accomplish with this campaign? What are examples? What are some key messaging points that you would like to have as part of this partnership that we have together? But also know that your content creator knows their platform best. There might be specific hashtags or the way that they say certain things. They may have a catchphrase that works really well with their audience. And so oftentimes they'll take your key messaging points. I mean, I know I've done this sometimes. I would say, well, you know what, Christine, people don't really say it like that. They say it like this, and so it might not pass the Grammarly test, but it passed the shareability and the virality test. So I think working in collaboration with your content creators is really going to work out for you in the long run. And oftentimes, as a brand, don't think of your partnerships with content creators as a one-off thing. If it's a partnership, then it's a strategic relationship. So think about how you're going to leverage their audience, over a series of content, because that's really going to help you both understand, okay, this first piece of content, what worked, what didn't work. Great. What do we need to tweak for the second piece of content out there? So if you did like a 4-part series, and that's a great way to learn, tweak, test, optimize. And that's also a great way for us content creators to get longer brand deals.
Absolutely. Got to get that money. And speaking of creator briefs, by the way, we've got one for you. We have creating a TikTok creator brief. And this actually we repurposed from a webinar put on by Coley. And Deb Mitchell, our community manager, saw it, and she was like, "Oh, this is really good content." So we asked them if we could kind of put up this part of it. But they talked about, again, controlled UGC. You'll see that phrase a few times when we're talking about creators. And she's talking about kind of different ways to work with creators, but then how to brief them. And they have right here, we have a download here of their creator brief template, and we go through a little bit of what's in it. And again, having that trust in your creators is a very key part of
Absolutely. And deadlines too.
Yes, deadlines, expectations, making it clear how much branding and what kind needs to be in there. We also have, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to just say too, and oftentimes when you're working with well-established content creators, ask them what's happening in their campaign calendar, because you might not know if you're signing the dotted line for a partnership, but 5 hours later after they posted yours, they're already working on another campaign. So your original content doesn't even have enough time to breathe because now they're doing another 4-part series. So there's just there's a lot of things to take into consideration from pre-production, production, and post-promotion, basically at that point.
Absolutely. And another thing to keep in mind from the creator end, and in terms of being able to get that money, is things like coming up with a portfolio. So Sean Marie Sagan, she spoke to us about optimizing your platforms. First of all, make sure that when people find you and they find your content, you're buttoned up, they know where else to find you, and you're really presenting yourself as a creator who they'd want to work with, as opposed to someone who's just having dumb luck on the platform. Building your portfolio, showcasing your work and what it is that you do. And she has a whole bunch of things you should include in that. Do's and don'ts. Create a sustainable system, which is kind of how do you make sure that those jobs keep coming in. So you're not reinventing the wheel every time. Yeah. Nurturing a community, not only with brands you want to work with, but also with other creators, because that can be an incredible element of things. So Steph, I'd love to hear your perspective from the creator standpoint of some things you think are really important for creators to do in order to be able to really monetize this and make this a career.
Absolutely. I think if you're going to monetize, get your media kit together. Tell us, who your audience is, what's your most top performing content? What's the geo? What's the video completion rate? What kind of brands have you worked with before? What's the best way to work with you? Some content creators are still managing these big collaborations just through email. And I don't know about you, Christine, but at some point I had to move over to an Asana board and just say, like, okay, this is when we're going to talk about the campaign kickoff. We're going to talk about analytics and all that other stuff. But I really presented myself even just as, this is a business. I know that you have campaign goals for this. This is why you can rely on me as a content creator. Because again, it's a strategic partnership. It's not just some random flyby, UGC, but really, how do we make this both work for both personal brands and the brand itself?
Absolutely. And that's so important. And to go back to what you said even earlier, you have to trust your creator that they know the platform. That's the sandbox that they play in all day. You're hiring them for a reason. You need to trust them. So what type of content to make? That is, of course, a huge discussion, especially since TikTok is a newer platform, a newer content creation style for a lot of people. So we talked about that in a few different ways. Donna Bowling talked about how to kind of her system for creating content in a way where it doesn't just take over your whole life. We talked to Brittany Crossan. She's so much fun. She made a name for herself, kind of dancing on her treadmill and just having lots of fun. But she's a social media strategist, and it has actually helped her business. But she doesn't sit there selling at you on TikTok to what you said before, Stephanie. She's having fun and being visible. And then she's saying, by the way, if you want help doing this too, hi.
Yeah.
So, and we have similarly Cara Marie Lady. She's a TikTok creator. And that's literally what she does on TikTok. She's just kind of showing her life. And so she talked to us about how she has gotten success with that. And of course, making TikTok trends your own. This is really key. And this is an interesting creative challenge because on the one hand, we all know that trending is hugely important on TikTok if you want to get that visibility. But the problem with trends is you can absolutely get lost in the sauce and just blend in with everybody else. So I'd love to hear your take on that, Stephanie, not only about how to work with trends on TikTok, but also we've got a new creative challenge because that can be tricky when working as a brand, as I know you're finding out now with the Core Pulse. So I would love your perspective on how to work with trends on TikTok, especially if you have those creative limitations.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about some of the brands that do have big budgets, because there are TikTok creative agencies out there that said, it really is about the trending audios. And so they're actually pulling in real life musicians and entertainers and singers and creating specialized tracks. Like, I don't know if you heard about the e.l.f. Cosmetics campaign.
Oh, no, I want to hear about it.
Oh my God, you didn't hear about this?
No, I'm not on TikTok enough. I got to fix that.
Oh God, no, there was a trending audio. It was like eyes, lips, face, and it was a whole jam. And it was a bop, and everyone was dancing to it, but it was actually a manufactured song for e.l.f. Cosmetics.
Ooh, so they have the rights.
Yeah, they have the rights to it. They open it up so that way these content creators can remix it to whatever it is that they wanted. But you're finding so many brands that are now investing in that. So I think the time for the songwriters, the beat makers, all of that, this is a great time for you to jump on that. For those of us who don't have the budget to hire those types of creatives, I think even just using your voice, the things that you say, you and I, we speak on stages a lot, and sometimes we'll drop a line, a punchline, and we'll realize like, oh, that actually landed. I think you could use your own voice as a way for you to make your own trending audio.
I like that. How to get it to trend is another story entirely.
That's why we have challenges, these missions.
I mean, we can only do what we can do. All right, a couple more things I want to get to before we wrap up. One of them is, of course, TikTok. Even though TikTok seems to be having a couple false starts getting in-app shopping going in the United States market, the fact is TikTok is still driving retail, and it's doing that in a few different ways. People are hearing about stuff on TikTok and going out and buying it. There are people who are making constructive use of their link in bio. There are TikTok ads, and we have a primer on how to advertise on TikTok from John Loomer, which is great. We also have a piece from Jerry Potter about how TikTok is becoming a search engine. People are going there to research products. And then, of course, our own Deb Mitchell was on Dealcasters Live, which is an Amazon Live shopping show mostly with Jim Fuse and Chris Stone. So, seeing a product on TikTok and then purchasing the item, hashtag TikTok made me buy it. That is such a thing. So given the fact that we don't have TikTok shopping, what are some ways that brands can take advantage of this?
As far as TikTok and user-generated content, especially for products, I think that would be super helpful, because then they could remix it. Like, you could have a reaction, unboxing videos and those things. But I would say even for Agora Pulse, whenever we release a new feature, like, wait, what? I could download a TikTok campaign brief? Let me do that right now. Like, oh, wow, get a reaction from it. Those are definitely things that you can do. And you're like, oh, well, I made this in 5 seconds using this campaign brief, or I did this, or hey, I joined, Social Media Pulse and I landed my first client deal just because I was engaging with someone. So those are certain things that you can do as far as shopping in that sense, like joining Social Media Pulse community, getting them to convert to sign up, to me is still a transactional thing, right? It might not be dollars, but it's still shopping in the sense of I'm shopping for a community. And so even for Agora Pulse as a software, as a solution, I'm shopping for a social media scheduling and analytics platform. So show me what you can do without necessarily adding it to the cart. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Pique that interest, bring that value. And you don't need to have a direct link necessarily, or you could leverage that link in bio. Again, by the way, another way to leverage that link in bio, Penelope Walker, who also appeared on the live show The Trust with Paul Bradley this month. Penelope talks about why bother building a new audience on TikTok, especially if you're doing perfectly well on Instagram already. She's pointing out you can make them help each other. She said TikTok is really good for discovery, especially if you get something trending. It's really good for being found. But if where you really want to drive them to is Instagram, guess what? You've got a link right there. And, you can use that. So make good videos and your viewers will come and see what else you do. She has a case study there of an actual brick and mortar small business that really leveraged the incredible discoverability of the TikTok platform. And then they were able to turn that into sales via Instagram shopping. Amazing.
It's the Matrix. It's all Inception, basically, at this point.
It's just crazy. And then we have a brand example, Barry Rosenstein from Auntie Anne's Pretzels. She talked about the things that she did to get Auntie Anne's to millions of views. And it's really about consistency, working trends in a way that is brand appropriate, and of course, not being afraid to fail and just try new things. So key for all of us. All right, so we're going to wrap this up in just a moment. But Stephanie, I would love to hear from you kind of the most key things that you would say, especially as you look at this TikTok landscape, which is not new, but it's new for many of us in business. What are some pieces of key mic drop advice that you would give to people who are thinking about finally dipping their toes in 2023?
You know what? I think whenever it comes to social media and any new platform, and now for TikTok, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. That's the biggest thing. You could set up a separate account, whether it's a private account, and just have fun. I mean, we did this when we were in Paris. Just go out there and have fun. Get used to the nuances of it. Work together with your team, especially if you're a big corporate company, because teamwork makes the dream work. So have fun with it.
It does. And I love that you pointed out when our marketing team, our Agora Pulse marketing team was in Paris, everyone, not just people who are usually in content creation jobs, everyone had to participate in making some fun TikToks, which was awesome. I got to follow up on getting my team's prize because we won.
Burn!
Well, thank you so much for being here, Stephanie. In addition to Agora Pulse, which is amazing, where else can and should people find you, and for what?
Yeah, I would say if you have any questions about live streaming or even live shopping, that is my bread and butter. So you could find me on LinkedIn. That's the best place if you want to have any type of business related conversations, whether it's Agorapulse, whether it's live streaming or live shopping. LinkedIn is my go to destination for those types of conversations. So come through and say hi. I'd love to connect with all of you.
One might even say LinkedIn is your corn.
You're good. You're
I am
good.
good. I try. Or am I chuggy? I don't know. I'm a bit of both. Well, thank you so much, Steph, for being here. It was awesome having you on as always. Keep on keeping on.
All right, love. Take care. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. And thank you for being here today with us on the Social Media Pulse community. If you joined us on social, definitely check out the link in the post to find the post within socialmediapulse.community, where we've been having a discussion this whole time. My colleague Ruth has done an incredible little time stamping of the different topics we touched on today with Stephanie Liu. And be sure to join our next mission. Social Media Pulse community is doing these monthly mission themes, and our January mission, due to great popular demand, is workflows. We all need workflows to make our jobs easier, to make our time and our work so much more efficient and better. So we're going to be coming at you all January long with all the workflows that you as a social media professional need in your business. And, we're going to be having lots of discussions in the community, as always, to hear more about how you are using different workflows in your business, what workflows you need, and want to learn more about all that great stuff. So be sure to join us in January, and thanks so much for being here. Bye.